Hey everyone, thank you for joining me for this Power Flow yoga practice with a little extra emphasis on abs and hips. It's a challenging class, however, I will provide variations and modifications so that you can make it your own no matter what your level. If you like practicing with a block or any other props, grab those and let's go. We'll start in child's pose. So coming into child's pose, big toes together. You can separate the knees as far as you need to for your hips and your ability to have space to breathe. And then walk your hands out. Get a nice long spine. You can place your forehead on the mat. Good. And we'll start with a deep breath. So through your nose, take a deep inhale. Fill all the way up to the top of your lungs. And open your mouth. Let that breath go. Good. One more time. Deep inhale. And exhale. Good. This time on your inhale, just walk your hands out and come up onto your fingertips. Maybe lift your forehead off of the mat. Just get a nice long stretch here. And on your exhale, just relax the palms and the forearms back down. You can bring your forehead back down to the mat. Good. And then we'll start to walk the hands to the left. So just getting a nice side stretch on the right side. And then walk the hands back through center and over to the right, getting that same nice long side stretch. Good. And then walk the hands back to center. Take one more inhale as you walk the hands out a little bit more. And exhale, relax the forearms to the floor. Good. And shift up onto your hands and knees. Maybe bring the knees a little closer together so they're directly under your hips. And we'll take a couple rounds of cat-cow. So inhaling, arch the back, lift the chest. And exhale, pull the belly in and round. Again, inhale and arch. And exhale, round. Good. Come back to your flat back. Curl the toes under. Lift the hips. Pull back. Downward facing dog. Good. And just take a second to find down dog. Spread the fingers out wide. And then you can pedal the feet, bending one knee and then the other. And you can exaggerate this as much as you want, maybe coming onto the tops of the toes, maybe sinking into the hips a little bit more on each side. Just taking these couple of breaths to move a little bit. Good. And then coming onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees and lift the hips. So feel that nice lengthening through the arms and through the spine. And keep lifting the hips until the legs straighten. Sink the heels toward the floor. Good. And then shift into plank. So coming into plank, shoulders over the wrists, belly strong and lifted, quads are lifted, reach through the heels. Good. And on your next exhale, use the belly to pull back, downward facing dog. Good. So using the belly, the core strength to pull back will take some stress off of the shoulders and the wrists and work the core strength a little bit more. So again, inhale into plank and exhale back, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale back to plank. You can always hold it here. Otherwise, lower down halfway or all the way, so chaturanga or all the way to the floor. And then inhale to upward dog or cobra. So cobra, tops of the legs are on the floor. Upward dog, tops of the feet are on the floor, legs are lifted. Shoulders down, lift the chest. And then pull back to downward facing dog. You can always go through a hands and knees position to get there. Good. We'll do that one more time with the breath. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower, halfway or all the way. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Good. Take a breath here. Inhale and exhale. Good. Walk your feet to your hands. And just hang down here. You can clasp opposite elbows if you want to. You can clasp the hands together behind your back. You can just shake everything out. Let the head drop, shake it out a little bit. Good. And then from here, we're going to separate the feet to your squat width. Let me turn and face you. So you can turn the toes out a little bit if you want to. Ideally, the heels stay on the floor because we're going to do some squats. So that might just mean that you separate the feet a little bit. It might mean you don't come down as far. So find that squat with the heels on the floor. You can bring the palms together. You can use the outer arms against the inner legs to press the knees open. You don't want the knees to fall in here. So adjust your legs and your arms and the rest of the body. Keep the chest lifted. You don't want to hunch. Find that. And then we'll take a couple of squats. Actually, we're taking 5 squats. So come up and come down. Belly super strong, chest is lifted, and down. Again, up and down. That's 3. Up and down. 1 more. Take it up and down. That's 5. Hold it here. Again, lift the chest. Keep those knees open. Good. And then hands to the floor. Straighten the legs. Heel toe the feet back into your hip width. Let me turn back around here. Good. And then we'll inhale halfway to a flat back. So fingertips to the floor, hands to the shins, hands to the thighs, whatever gets you a flat back. Exhale, chest toward your legs. Again, inhale halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold, chest toward your legs. Good. Bend your knees, palms down, step back into plank and hold it. And from here, we'll take a side plank. So rolling onto the outside of your right foot, you can just let that left heel fall and stagger, or you can stack. You can also place your knee down, or you can place your forearm down. So there's all kinds of options here for this side plank. Take one of them and hold it. Get really long through the torso, long through the legs, reach strong through that arm. You can take the arm overhead if you want to. There's all kinds of variations here too. Take a big inhale and reach, and exhale back to plank. You can take push-ups here if you want to, 1, 2, or none. And then we'll take the other side. So rolling onto the outside of the left foot, stagger that right foot or stack it or put the knee down or put the forearm down. Your choice. Find one and then just reach everywhere. And don't forget to breathe. Good. Big inhale as you reach a little bit more. Exhale back to plank. And then you choose, you can either pull straight back to down dog or you can flow through a vinyasa, lowering down, arching up, and pull back, downward facing dog. Good. Take a breath. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale the right leg straight back. And then rotating in the hip, it's a small movement. Just turn the toes toward the side. Exhale, shift forward, right knee to the right arm. Belly super strong and lifted. Inhale the leg back up. Exhale the knee to the left arm, shifting forward. Belly strong and lifted. Lift that knee high. Inhale the leg back up. Exhale the knee into center, in toward your chest, in toward your nose. Pull it in and up. Gently step the foot between your hands. And then keep your left hand down. You can keep the palm down or come to your fingertips, or you can also grab a block for a twist. So raise that right arm up, starting at the chest and shoulder. So rotating the upper body for that twist. Oftentimes this right hip will want to pop out. So really pull that right hip under and reach strong through that back heel. And breathe. Good. As you lift the belly and open up the right chest and shoulder a little bit more, inhale. And then exhale that right hand to the floor. Just take a second to find this low lunge and then come up to crescent pose. Good. And in crescent pose, you can always have a little or a big bend in the back knee. You don't want the ribs to pop out here. So softening in the ribs and lengthening the torso sometimes causes that knee to bend a little, and that's totally fine. You can work on straightening it later. Good. And then we're going to take a big circle with the arms. So working the shoulders here, taking the arms forward, back, starting to rotate externally in the shoulders. Rotate, 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 going through your full range of motion in the shoulders. Good, and we'll reverse it. Take it back. Start to rotate in the shoulders. Keep rotating in the shoulders. Good, and take the arms up. We'll take one more inhale here as we get a little more length. So go a little deeper in the legs, reach a little higher in the arms, and then exhale the hands to the floor. Step back into plank, and you can pull straight back or lower down. Inhale, arching up, and exhale back, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale the right leg straight back. Again, just take that little rotation in the hip. Shift forward on your exhale, knee to the left arm. Inhale the leg back up. Exhale the knee to the right arm, shifting forward. Inhale the leg back up. Exhale the knee into center. Pull it in and up, really lift. Step the foot between your hands. Keep the right hand down. Raise the left arm up by opening the chest and shoulder. The arm extends from there. And then again, if you find this hip popping out, really pull it in and under. Reach strong through that back heel. So this twist comes from the upper body. Breathe. Good. Inhale, lifting, opening a little bit more. Exhale the hand to the floor. And then inhale up to crescent pose. Good. Hold it here and breathe. Good. And take a big circle forward with the arms. Keeping everything else still. Rotating in the shoulders. Take the arms up. Good. And reverse it. Back. Rotating in the shoulders. Keep going. And coming back up to crescent. We'll take one more big inhale as we go a little deeper and reach a little higher. And exhale the hands to the floor. Step back into plank. And then either pull straight back or lower down. Inhale, arch up. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale your right leg straight back. Exhale it to the right arm, shifting forward, just like before. Inhale the leg back up. Exhale the knee to the left arm, shifting forward. Inhale the leg back up. This time you can roll the hip open if you want to. If you have a variation here and you want to take a flip dog or a wild thing, it's sometimes called, you can do that. Otherwise you can hold it here or just keep the leg straight. Good. Straighten that leg back out. Bring the knee into your chest, shifting forward. And step the foot between your hands. Come up to crescent pose. Open up, warrior two. Good. So if you don't land exactly where you want to be, that's okay. You can make any adjustments. So ideally, the right knee's over the right ankle. Try not to let that knee fall in. So use that inner leg strength here. Outer edge of the foot reaching into the floor. So super strong in that outer leg and the inner leg. Try not to let that arch roll in. And shoulders are down. Length in the torso. And you can look out over your right fingertips. Breathe. If this feels super comfortable for you, you can always go a little bit deeper, just keeping the body centered. Good. Right palm up. Inhale to reverse warrior. Exhale to side angle. So right fingertips come down inside the right foot. Sometimes I have to heel toe my back foot forward a little. That's okay. Do any adjustments you need to do. And then you can also use the block here if that helps to have a little height. You can take your forearm to your thigh. However, if you're taking any of those variations, try not to rest and put your weight here. So really use resistance against the excuse me, against the thigh or the block to press away. And then if you have any variations that you want to take here, you can certainly do that. You can take the arm overhead. You can take the arm behind your back or take both arms up and overhead. We won't be here for too long. Good. And then stay where you are. I'm just moving back a little because we're coming out into half moon. So I can be centered here. So look down at your right toes. Crawl the fingertips out or take the block with you for half moon. So you're coming out about the length of your torso. Float the back leg up and get really strong in that back leg. So whether you're flexing or pointing, you want a lot of engagement in that back leg because if it gets heavy, it'll start to throw your balance off. So really strong in that back leg, nice and strong through the arms. Now, stay there. If you want, you can take this on your knee. So same shape, just on the knee. And then when we go into the next posture, you can stay on your knee for that too. So I'm going to come back here. Good. And then we'll take a big inhale, reach everywhere. Through both arms, through both legs, through the torso. Exhale the left fingertips to the floor. Again, if you're on your knee, same thing. Square off the hips. So hips are nice and even, back legs super strong. And then start to open up the right chest, shoulder, and arm for twisting half moon. And then if the leg starts to fall and get heavy, you want to get really strong in that leg. So press, again, you can point it, you can flex it, whatever you want. Good. And then we're going to take a little lift in the belly. Open the right chest and shoulder a little bit more. Reach strong through that back leg. Good. One more time. Inhale. Open up a little more. Reach strong through that leg. And then exhale the right fingertips to the floor. Step the left foot to meet the right. Bend your knees. Raise your arms up. Come into chair pose. So sitting back into the heels, sit back into the hips, but keep the belly strong and lifted. If your arms get tired here, you can always bring the palms together. Good. Sink a little bit lower as you reach higher. And then bring the fingertips to the floor. Straighten your legs. Good. Inhale halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold chest toward your legs. Bend your knees, palms down, step back into plank. You can always jump back if that's in your practice. And then getting to down dog either by pulling straight back or flowing through your vinyasa. Good. Left side. Inhale the leg back. Taking that little rotation. Exhale, knee to the left arm. Inhale the leg back up. Exhale the knee to the right arm, shifting forward. Inhale the leg back up. And then this time you can hold it here. You can bend the knee and roll the hip open. You can take that full flip into that wild thing if you have that in your practice. Good. And then straighten the leg back out. Bring the knee into your chest, shifting forward. Pull it in and up. Step the foot between your hands. Inhale, crescent pose. Exhale. Oops. Open up, warrior two. And again, just take a few seconds here to find that warrior two. And then breathe. Good. Maybe coming down a little bit deeper. And we'll flip the left palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Again, I'm going to heel toe my back foot up a little bit. Take this any way you want. Use the block, forearm to thigh. Take any variation that you want. Arm overhead, both arms overhead, or just hold it right here. Feel that straight line from the right fingertips down to the left as we prepare for half moon. So looking down at your left toes. Again, I'll scoot back. Crawl the fingertips out or the block. The length of your torso, float that back leg up. Flex it or point it. Or come onto your knee if you want to for that modification. And then breathe. Hold it here. If you start to wobble, take a deep breath. Take any variations that you want. You can bend the knee and grab the foot. I don't think I did that on the first round, but you can do it next time. Good. Take a big inhale as you reach through the arms, reach through the legs, lengthen the torso, and then exhale the right fingertips to the floor. Square off the hips. And then start to open that left chest, shoulder, and arm for twisting half moon. And again, get really strong in that leg, that back leg. Standing legs strong too, of course. Good. Breathe, lifting in the belly, open that left chest and shoulder a little bit more. Good, and we'll do that one more time. Inhale, lift the belly, open up, reach strong through that back leg. And then exhale the left fingertips to the floor. Step the right foot to meet the left. Bend your knees, raise your arms up, come into chair pose. Good, sitting back a little bit deeper as you reach a little bit higher. Lengthening through the center. A little bit lower and a little bit higher. Good, stand up. Reach up and arch back a little or a lot, whatever feels good for you. Open the arms wide and dive forward. Good. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold chest toward your legs. Bend your knees, palms down, step back or jump back into plank and hold it here. Good. So we're going to do a little extra ab work. So find a strong plank and then bring your right knee into your chest. Step it back. Left knee into your chest. Step it back. Right knee, right arm, right elbow, and back. Left knee, left elbow, and back. 2 more rounds. You can always hold plank or come down whenever you need to. Here we go. Right knee, chest, back, left knee, chest, back. Strong abs, right knee, right elbow, back, left knee, left elbow, back. One more time. Right knee, chest, back, left knee, chest, back, right knee, right elbow, back, left knee, left elbow, back. Come to your forearms. Forearm plank. Good. We're going to take a side forearm plank. So rolling onto the outside of your right foot. I like to stagger in forearm plank, but you can always stack if you have that. Raise the arm up. You can always place your hand on your hip. Good. Breathe. Reach strong through your legs, strong through that arm. Inhale. Exhale back to forearm plank. Good. And then rolling onto the outside of the left foot. Stagger, stack, however you want to take it. Right arm up or on your hip. Again, get really strong. If you're starting to feel fatigued here, get super strong, reach through your legs. Super strong, reach through that arm. Lengthen in the torso. Inhale. Exhale back to forearm plank. Hold it here. And then we'll walk the feet up toward the elbows, coming into dolphin pose. So dolphin is just like downward facing dog, only on your forearms. If you have a headstand practice here or any other inversion that you want to take, this is a great place to do that. If you don't, hold it right here. And you can always come into child's pose, which is where we will end up. after another breath. So inhale and exhale. One more inhale and then exhale. Bend your knees, big toes together. Walk the hands out and come into child's pose. So take your knees as wide as you need to in order to breathe and make this feel good. And then just take a second here. You can rock the hips from side to side. Excuse me. You can walk the hands out, place your forehead down. And just take a couple of deep breaths here, starting to slow the body and the breath down. Take one more breath here. Good. And then walk your hands back, come on up, and we will come down onto our backs. So make your way onto your back. And once you get there, just hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. You can rock from side to side if that feels good. Good. And then place your feet flat. Separate your feet to the outer edges of your mat. Maybe take your arms out to the sides, or you can cactus your arms or bring them overhead. And then we'll just let the knees fall to the left. We'll take a little bit of windshield wiper action here. So taking the knees back through center, let them drop to the right. This is a nice slower stretch for the hips. And again to the left. You can take this at your own pace, just going back and forth a few times. Good. And one more time, we'll take it to the left and to the right. Good. And back to center and bring the feet together, and we'll bring the hands back down at your sides, maybe palms down. Straighten your legs straight up. Good. And then we're just going to slowly lower the legs toward the floor, but only go as far as you can go without your back arching. So you're really pulling down through the belly and through the back. And then slowly raise back up. Good. Again, lower down and back up. Do that one more time. Lower and lift. Good. And then we're going to flex the feet. So feeling that nice stretch in the backs of the legs. Take a little bend to your knees as you inhale. And then exhale, press through the heels, maybe pulling the legs a little bit closer. And let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale, press through the heels, maybe bring the legs a little bit closer. On this last one, you can reach up and grab onto something, the toes, the ankles, the calves, the thighs, whatever you can reach. Inhale. Exhale the legs a little bit closer. Try not to roll onto your upper back. Good. And then from here, separate your feet and we'll take a happy baby. So bending your knees, you can grab the outsides of the feet, the insides of the feet, the ankles. You can even wrap your arms behind your knees. And again, you don't want to roll onto your upper back. So really keep the whole back flat. And just take this however it feels good, pulling the knees down. This is another nice one for the hips. If you're wanting more of a hamstring or leg stretch, you can straighten one leg out at a time, or you can extend both legs out to the sides. I can't do that because of my little cabinet here, but you can straighten both legs out, taking more of a wide-legged stretch here. Otherwise, just stay in this happy baby, maybe pulling the knees a little closer to the floor outside of your ribs. Good. And then hug your knees back into your chest. And we'll take one last twist. So keeping the right knee bent, straighten the left leg on the floor. And we'll drop over onto the left side. So scoot the hips a little to the right so that you can keep a nice long line here from the head down to the toes. You can extend your right arm out. You can extend both arms out. You can even put a block underneath your knee, because sometimes if the knee's just hanging out here, we create a little bit more stress by holding on. So if you aren't able to just let this go, maybe put a block under your knee or straighten the leg and put a block under your foot. Just options. Otherwise, wherever you are, take a deep inhale and exhale. Just drop into this twist. So release the right shoulder, release that top leg. Again, inhale and exhale, release. Good. And come back to center. Scoot the hips back if they moved. Hug your knees into your chest. And we'll take the other side. So straightening the right leg on the floor. Drop over onto the right side. Again, you might want to scoot the hips to the left just a little so you can stay in line here. Good. And then extend your left arm out if you want to. You can extend both arms out. Whatever you did on the other side is usually nice. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, drop that shoulder, drop that top leg. Again, inhale. Exhale. Good. Come back to center. You can give yourself one last squeeze. Good. And then get comfortable for Shavasana. So you can straighten the legs on the floor and just let the feet fall open from the hips. You can bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees open. Either of those or any other relaxing position is perfect. Arms can be at your sides, overhead, on your belly. Again, just get comfortable here. Spread out. And on your next exhale, exhale completely. So you want to push all of the air out. And then through your nose, take a really long, slow, deep inhale. Fill all the way up. Up, 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 up. Sip in a little more. Hold the breath just for a second. And then open your mouth and let that breath go. And with that exhale, just feel the body drop a little bit deeper into the floor. And then just relax. Don't try to control the breath. Just breathe naturally. Don't try to control your thoughts or any sounds that you hear or anything that's happening. Just allow everything that's happening to be as it is, which is perfect in this moment. Good. And then starting to bring your attention back a little bit, you can start to deepen the breath. Maybe start to feel a little movement in the body. You can wiggle the fingers and toes. Stretch a little bit. Good. And then on your next inhale, extend your arms overhead, reach through your legs, get a nice long stretch. And exhale your knees into your chest. Good. And then from here, we'll make our way up to a seat. So you can roll onto your side and gently press up. You can slowly rock your way up. And then when you get there, just find a comfortable seat. You can cross the legs, you can stretch the legs out in front of you, sit on your feet, or any other comfortable seated position. It doesn't ever have to look like anything. You can rest the palms in your lap. You can rest the palms up or down on your knees. Again, whatever feels good for you. Find that comfortable seat. You can close your eyes if you want to. And then we're just going to take 3 nice, even breaths. So in yoga and in life, we have a lot of different ways to breathe depending on what's going on in our lives. So we might be breathing fast if our body's reacting to something, or we might slow the breath down in order to calm the nervous system. But nice, even breaths is really how we want to kind of go through our day. So it's a nice way to just bring us back to close this practice out and get us into whatever's next. So 3 nice even breaths, whatever that means for you. It might be a 4-second inhale and exhale. It might be a 5-second inhale and exhale. Kind of maybe count that first inhale and then use that as a guide. So 3 times, and then just come back to natural breathing. Good. We'll take one more deep breath together. Inhale and exhale. Let that breath go. Good. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this practice. And I love your comments. So if there's anything in particular that you liked about this class or anything that you would like to see in any upcoming videos, please comment below, like, subscribe, do all the things. That's what allows me to keep this channel going. And I hope to see you back here soon. Until then,